control structures, which is basically our third chapter. We are going to talk about jump statement in this chapter, but till now we have covered looping statements and decision making statements. First we have covered decision making statements, in which we have gained some introduction about if else, if ladder, nested if and switch statement. So basically we have gone through some conditional programming part, and we have already known that these topics are very much important in terms of any programming language, not only for C. We have also covered some examples. Then after we were talking about looping structures in our last session. In looping structure I have already explained that what is the loop, when it is used, what is the purpose of using loop, what are the different types of loops available. We have seen that basically we have two types of loop. First is entry control loop and second is exit control loop. In entry control loop, whenever I am entering inside the loop or the control try to enter inside the loop, it will first check the condition. If the condition is true, then only control can be go inside the loop. If not, then it cannot enter inside the loop. But in exit control loop, first it will enter inside the loop, and then when it comes out, it will check the condition. If the condition is true, then it can again go to the loop. But if not, then it cannot go inside the loop. So the control cannot go inside the loop. That was the difference, where condition was checked at first place in entry control loop and at last place in exit control loop. So we have seen that for loop and while loop are types of entry control loop, and do while loop is kind of exit control loop, and we have already covered some example based on that. We have already covered it. Now in this third chapter I am going to talk about the third topics, that is jump statements. In this chapter we are going to talk about go to, break and continue. Basically about the break statement, we have already covered break statement in our switch case. If you remember, in our switch case I was writing break after each cases in order to break the control once my particular case is executed. And I have already showed you that if you are not using break at that moment, then after executing one particular case, it will keep on executing other cases. So I have already covered that example. If you have not watched that video, then please just go to the previous video and watch it. Now as the name suggests, in jump statements we are going to talk about skipping some part of code. I am going to show you that how you can use go to for that, how you can use break statement and how you can use continuous. At the end of this lecture I am going to talk about the difference between break and continue as well. So basically if I talk about jump statements, sometimes in your programming it may happen that for some condition you want to skip the code. What we are doing in loops, if some condition is true, then I am going to execute that code until that condition is true. But instead of that, in break jump statements, what I am going to do, for some particular condition, if I want to just break the entire loop, or if I just want to skip some partial code, then I can use jump statements. And there are three jump statements, as you can see it over here. First is go to statement, break statement and continue statement. In this chapter, first I am going to cover about the flow chart of all of this, and then after I like to talk about the coding part. In coding part, I'll show you that how exactly this is being executed. But right now, just try to understand the flow chart for that. So let's begin the flow charts for jump statements. So as you can see the flow chart for GoTo over here. See, I have not started it with start and ended it with end. I just want you to understand the concepts. If you want, you can just write over, draw over there and write start inside that, and same for the ending part. But here I am just trying to show you the flow. Suppose in my program I have started with after that I have taken some input from user and I have also done some processing part. Then after I give labels to some statements. As you can see, you can use any number of labels, and I'll show you that how you can use labels. But suppose for some statements I have given label 1. For some statements after that I have given label 2, and for some statements I have given label 3. Now if some particular condition is true, then I want to skip the statement 2, that is label 2. How I can do that? I can do that using GoTo. So in the conditional part, I would like to use GoTo statement 3 directly after statement 1. Or say after label 1, directly go to label 3 and skip the label 2. When only even when the condition, given particular condition is true. Make sure that whenever you are using loops or GoTo statements, say GoTo statements can be used as a replacement or substitute of loops. So whenever you are using loops or GoTo statements, if you have not given some adequate condition, then you can enter into infinite loop, in which your code is going to be executed for infinite time or until your memory is full. So make sure that while dealing with loops or GoTo, you write a condition in proper way that your program exited after some particular steps. So here you are going to go to label some particular label. I'll show you that how you can use this label and GoTo part as to create a loop. But you can just skip that particular code here in statement 2. You can skip using GoTo. Now then after you can see the flow chart of break over here. In break statement, see basically you are familiar with the partial flow chart. This flow chart is similar with the flow chart we have seen in our loops session. So I am taking some input from user. First of all I'm starting, then I'm taking some input from user, and then I'm checking the condition. If the condition is true, then I'm going to again enter into the loop and going to execute the same statements. So this is going to be happen until the condition is true. But what if the condition, what if I want then for some particular condition I just want to break the loop. Suppose I have given that the range of loop must be 1 to 30. But if a reaches to 15, I just want to break the loop. See, this is not the real time scenario, and I'm already going to show you that how you can implement GoTo on break or break in your code. But right now just try to understand the concept. So for some particular condition, if the condition is false, then I just want to break the statement, break the control, and it will just come out of the loop. So this is how we can use break statement. Now as you can see the flow chart for continue statement. In continue statement, see later on I am going to show you the difference between break and continue statement. But here as you can see in break the entire loop was exited if break is executed. But in continue is basically used when I want some particular iteration to be skipped. Suppose I want for some condition I don't want to execute some code. At that time I can use continue. So what is the main difference between break and continue? In breaks we are directly going out of the loop if break is executed. But if continue is executed, I am just going to skip that particular iteration, not the entire loop. So this is what the purpose of go to, break and continue statements. These are the different statements which is used for different purpose. And now through my coding part, I am going to show you that how you can use go to, break and continue statements. So first, to understand go to, I need to take a new file, new project, say. Now what I am going to do, I am not going to use 3 labels as I have shown you in my flowchart. Here I will just demonstrate it using one label, that how goto works and how you can create loop using goto, so that you can use goto as a substitute of loops. First of all, I will write include stdio dot h, then int main and return 0, or you can also write return 1. When to write return 0 and when to write return 1, this is nothing but the true false conditions of function, and that I am going to talk about when I am going to cover the functions. Here what I am going to do, first of all I am writing one int a, that means I am taking one integer variable a. I am taking this value from user, so for that I am using printf enter the value of a and colon. Then just use scanf because I want to take this value from user. So %d and a. So user will be able to enter value of a. Now I am giving label L1. How you can give label? See, in C programming, for each statement you are terminating it with using semicolon. But if you are labeling some statements, then you have to write colon, the way I am writing here L1. Label L1. So name of label is L1, and you can use name of label such a way that we are using it with variables. So the way you are using variable name, you can use label name also. But after that you have to write colon. So I have written colon over here. So whatever I am writing inside this is kind of a label 1 or L1. Now what are the statements I am going to execute? A plus plus. See, I have not written any condition over here. So a plus plus will increase one value to the previous value of a. So if user have entered 5, then the value become 6. After that I am just printing printf also /n, so that it will be like look good in formatting a. So I am going to print the value of a. Then I am writing go to L1. So what exactly is going to be happen? User have entered suppose 5. Now label 1 is there, so it will just remember it inside its memory that label 1 is here and these are the statement inside the labels. Now this indent is not required over here. Now after that it is going to be execute the next statement, that is a plus plus. So whatever value is entered by user, it will increment 1 to that value. So if user have entered 5, it will make value of a as 6. Now it is printing the value of a, so 6 is printed. Then it will go to label 1. So again the control goes here. Now what is happening next? Next 6 is becoming 7. 7 is printed and go to label 1. So this is how you can create a loop. So here the initialization part is kind of this. Whatever the value entered by user is kind of initialization. This is the increment decrement part, and there is no condition. What if I have not given any condition? If I am not given any condition to loop, then you know that the loop will execute for the infinite time. Here also, let me just show you that what is happening if I am, let me first save it, jump state. So jump statements. Let me just show you what is happening if I am just executing it without any condition. Expected colon, okay, so here instead of semicolon I have used colon, okay, it was my mistake. Compile and run. If I am entering 5, you can see the infinite loop. This is called infinite loop. It will keep printing it until its memory is full. So this is what happens if you are using goto without any prior knowledge of the code. This is the same thing will happen if you have not written some particular condition correctly for loops. So here when goto should be called, if a is less than 50, then only goto should be called, and that's why I have written goto inside condition in that flowchart. If I just save this program, compile it, and if I say enter 5, then you will see 5 is not printed because first I am implementing a value and then after I am just printing the value. So 6 is printed, 7 is printed, 8, 9, 10. 4, then after a become 16. See, when a become, what is happening over here? I am telling you. First a becomes 6, 6 is printed. It is less than 15, so go to L1. 7 is printed, go to L1. 8 printed, 9 printed, 10 printed, then 11, 12, 13, 14 is printed. Now when value of a is 14, it will 14 is less than equal to 15. So go to L1. So now the value of a is 15. At that time, in last iteration, the value is increased. Here, the way I am writing a code, that's because this is happening. First, I am incrementing a value, then printing it, and then I am checking the condition, and that's why we are having 15 as printed. So you know that how you can use this using loops. So this is all about goto statements. Now in next session, I am going to talk about jump statements, other jump statements, that is break and continue. I am also going to show you the difference between break and continue, and I am going to perform the programs based on that. But after that, I am also going to cover some more examples on all of this to understand the concepts. I hope you enjoyed this class, and if you have any doubt, you can just comment below the comment section. Thank you so much. See you in the next class.